I pulled into my driveway at 11:47 p.m. after a week-long work trip to Seattle. The house was dark, except for the porch light my wife Emma always left on for me. I was exhausted. 5 days of client meetings, airport food, and hotel beds that never feel right. All I wanted was to kiss my wife, take a hot shower, and sleep in my own bed. I unlocked the front door as quietly as I could. Didn't want to wake her. The living room was spotless, like always. Emma was meticulous about keeping the house clean. I set my suitcase down and headed to the kitchen for water. That's when I saw them. 2 wine glasses on the counter, both empty, both with lipstick marks on the rim. One was Emma's shade, that deep red she always wore. The other was different, darker, almost burgundy. I stood there, staring at those glasses like they were evidence at a crime scene. My brain tried to logic it away. Maybe her sister visited, maybe a friend stopped by. But it was 11:47 p.m. on a Thursday, and the glasses were sitting there like they'd been forgotten in a hurry. I pulled out my phone and opened the Doorbell camera app, the one I'd installed 6 months ago for security. I scrolled back to earlier that evening. 7:14 p.m. Emma's car pulls into the driveway. She gets out alone. 7:58 p.m. Nothing. 8:33 p.m. A black Audi pulls up. I don't recognize it. A man gets out. Tall, well-dressed, confident walk. He doesn't knock. He just walks in, like he's been there before. My stomach dropped. I kept scrolling. 9:18 p.m. Still nothing. 10:41 p.m. The front door opens. The man walks out, adjusts his jacket, smiles. Emma stands in the doorway. She's wearing the red dress I bought her for our anniversary. She kisses him. Not a peck, not a friendly goodbye. A kiss that makes my chest feel like it's caving in. Then he gets in his Audi and drives away. Emma closes the door. I stood in my kitchen, phone in my hand, staring at footage of my wife kissing another man. And that's when I made a decision. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to wake her up and demand answers. I was going to do something better. I was going to let her think she got away with it. If you want to know what I did next and why her boyfriend's Audi ended up in my name, hit subscribe, because this story gets darker before it gets better. My name is Nathan Cross. I'm 39 years old, and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a senior project manager for a tech consulting firm, the kind of job that sounds impressive at dinner parties, but mostly means I live in airports and hotel conference rooms. I travel 3 weeks out of every month. Boston, Seattle, Denver, Austin, wherever the client is, that's where I am. It's good money, 6 figures, benefits, stock options. It's also lonely. I'd been doing it for 8 years, and for 7 of those years, Emma said she understood. It's temporary, I'd tell her. Once I make senior director, I can work remote more. I know, she'd say. I'm proud of you.
But somewhere along the way, I'm proud of you turned into, you're never here. And I understand turned into, I'm lonely. I just didn't realize how lonely until I saw those 2 wine glasses. Emma and I met in college, UNC Chapel Hill. I was studying computer science. She was in marketing. We met at a party junior year. She laughed at my jokes. I loved the way she tilted her head when she listened. We got married 3 years later. Small wedding. Her family, my family, and about 50 friends crammed into a barn venue outside Asheville. It was perfect. For a while, everything was perfect. We bought a house in a quiet neighborhood in South Charlotte, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a backyard with a fire pit we used maybe twice. Emma worked in marketing for a local agency. She was good at it, creative, driven. But about 2 years ago, she quit. I want to freelance, she said, work from home, build my own client base. I supported it. Of course I did. Whatever makes you happy, I told her. What I didn't realize was that working from home meant she was alone in that house for weeks at a time while I was gone, and loneliness is a dangerous thing. I didn't go upstairs that night. I couldn't. If I saw her sleeping in our bed, I didn't know what I'd do. Instead, I sat on the couch in the dark, phone in my hand, and watched the doorbell footage again, and again, and again. Each time I noticed something new. The way he touched the small of her back as he walked in, the way she laughed at something he said, the way she looked at him when he left, like he was something I'd stopped being a long time ago. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to feel rage, but all I felt was empty, like someone had scooped out my insides and left me hollow. Around 2 a.m., I finally went upstairs. Emma was asleep, curled up on her side, hair spilling across the pillow. She looked peaceful. I stood in the doorway and watched her for a long time. This woman I'd loved for 15 years. This woman I'd built a life with. This woman who'd just kissed another man in the doorway of the house we bought together. I didn't wake her. I grabbed a pillow and a blanket from the closet and went back downstairs. I slept on the couch, or tried to. Mostly I just stared at the ceiling and wondered how long this had been going on. The next morning I woke up to the smell of coffee. Emma was in the kitchen, humming softly, pouring herself a cup. She was wearing my old college t-shirt and pajama shorts, hair in a messy bun. She looked so normal. "Hey," she said, smiling when she saw me. "I didn't hear you come in last night. When'd you get home?" "Late," I said. "Didn't want to wake you." She walked over and kissed me on the cheek. "Missed you?" I forced a smile. "Missed you too." She poured me a cup of coffee, black, no sugar, the way I like it. "How was Seattle?" "Long, exhausting." "Well, you're home now." She squeezed my hand. "I'm making pancakes, your favorite."
I looked at her, really looked at her. She was good, I'll give her that. No guilt in her eyes, no nervousness, no tells. Just my wife making pancakes, acting like everything was fine. And that's when I realized she'd done this before. This wasn't her first time. I played along. I ate the pancakes, I told her about Seattle, I laughed at her jokes, I acted like everything was normal. Because I needed time to think. I needed a plan. After breakfast, I told her I had to run to the office to drop off some equipment. "On a Friday?" she asked. "Yeah, just for an hour. I'll be back." She kissed me. "Don't work too hard." I drove to a coffee shop across town and sat in the parking lot with my laptop. I opened the Doorbell camera app and downloaded every piece of footage from the last 3 months. Then I started watching. It didn't take long to find the pattern. Every time I left for a work trip, he showed up. Sometimes the same night, sometimes the next day. But he always came. Black Audi, same confident walk, same smile. I watched him arrive at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, leave at midnight. I watched him arrive at 6 p.m. on a Thursday, leave at 11. I watched him arrive at 8 p.m. on a Saturday, leave at 2 a.m. And every time, Emma was waiting. Sometimes in the red dress, sometimes in jeans and a blouse, once in a robe. They'd have wine, they'd talk, they'd laugh, and then the camera couldn't see what happened inside. But I didn't need to see. I knew. I saved every video, organized them by date, backed them up to 3 different cloud accounts. Then I did something else. I zoomed in on the Audi's license plate. It took a few tries, but I got a clear shot. North Carolina plate, JTM 4739. I ran it through a license plate lookup service, $29.99 for instant results. The car was registered to a James T. Morrison. I Googled the name. James Morrison, 34 years old, commercial real estate broker, works for a firm downtown. His LinkedIn profile had a professional headshot, same guy from the videos. Handsome, successful, probably made good money. I stared at his photo for a long time. This was the man my wife had chosen over me. I didn't confront her, not yet. Instead, I started documenting everything. I checked our credit card statements, found charges I didn't recognize,
Dinner at a steakhouse downtown, $240 the night I was in Denver. Wine delivery, $180 the week I was in Austin. A hotel in Asheville, $340. A weekend I thought she was visiting her sister. She'd been using our joint account to fund her affair. I took screenshots of everything. Then I opened a separate bank account, just in my name. I started funneling money into it. Not all at once, just a little each week. Enough that she wouldn't notice, because I knew what was coming, and I needed to be ready. A week later, I told Emma I had another work trip. Boston, I said, 4 days. She pouted. Again? You just got back. I know, I'm sorry, but this is a big client. She sighed. Okay, I'll miss you. I'll miss you too.
I packed my suitcase, kissed her goodbye, got in my car, and drove to a hotel 15 minutes away. I checked in under my name, paid cash, then I settled in to watch the doorbell camera. He showed up at 7:32 p.m., right on schedule. Black Audi, confident walk. Emma opened the door before he could knock. She was wearing the red dress again. They kissed in the doorway, long, deep. Then they went inside. I watched the empty driveway for hours. At 11:54 p.m., the door opened. James walked out, adjusted his jacket, smiled. Emma stood in the doorway, barefoot, hair messy. They kissed again. Then he got in his car and left. I waited until Emma closed the door. Then I got in my car and followed him. James lived in a high-rise condo in uptown Charlotte. Expensive, doorman, valet parking. I watched him pull into the garage and disappear. Then I sat in my car and made a phone call. Patricia, it's Nathan Cross. Patricia Newen was a divorce attorney a colleague had recommended. Sharp, ruthless, expensive. Nathan, she said, what can I do for you? I need to file for divorce. Okay, do you have grounds? Adultery, and I have proof. Good, that'll make things easier. When can you come in? Tomorrow. I'll clear my schedule. The next morning, I sat in Patricia's office and laid out everything. The wine glasses, the doorbell footage, the credit card statements, the license plate, James Morrison's name and address. Patricia watched the videos without expression. When they finished, she leaned back in her chair. This is airtight, she said. She won't have a leg to stand on. Good. What do you want? Everything, I said. The house, the cars. I want her to walk away with nothing. Patricia raised an eyebrow. That's aggressive. She used our money to cheat on me, I said. I'm not feeling generous. Fair enough. She made notes. North Carolina is an equitable distribution state, but adultery can affect alimony and asset division. With this evidence, we can argue she violated the marital contract. Do it. She nodded. I'll draft the papers. We'll serve her next week. No, I said. Not yet. Patricia looked up. Why not? Because I want to do one more thing first. That weekend, I told Emma I was going to a work conference in Atlanta. 3 days, I said. I'll be back Monday. She kissed me. Be safe. I laughed. But I didn't go to Atlanta. I went to James Morrison's office. Morrison Realty was in a sleek glass building downtown, all modern furniture and motivational posters. I walked in wearing a suit, told the receptionist I had a 2 p.m. appointment. With whom? She asked. James Morrison. She checked her computer, frowned. I don't see you on his calendar. I told him to stop by. It's about a property investment. I'm only in town for the day. She hesitated.
then picked up the phone. "Let me check." A minute later, she hung up. "He'll see you. 3rd floor, corner office." James Morrison's office had floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. He stood when I walked in, extended his hand. "James Morrison, good to meet you, Mr. Cross," I said. "Nathan Cross."
His smile faltered, just for a second. Then it came back. "Nathan, what can I do for you?" I sat down without being invited. "I'm here about a property." "Great. What kind of property are you looking for?" "Actually," I said, "I'm more interested in a car." His smile froze. "I'm sorry?" "A black Audi, license plate JTM 4739. The color drained from his face. I don't understand." "Sure you do," I said calmly. "It's the car you drive to my house every time I'm out of town." Silence. James sat down slowly. "Look, I'm not here to fight," I interrupted. "I'm here to make you an offer." He blinked. "An offer?" I pulled out a folder, slid it across the desk. Inside is every piece of evidence I have. Doorbell footage, credit card statements, photos, dates, times. He opened it. His hands shook. "I could take this to your boss," I continued. "I could post it online. I could ruin your career." He looked up. "What do you want?" "I want you to disappear." "What?" "You're going to stop seeing my wife. You're going to block her number. You're going to act like she never existed." "And if I don't?" I leaned forward. "Then everyone in this building and everyone in this city will know exactly what kind of man you are." He stared at me. "You're bluffing." I pulled out my phone, opened my email, showed him a draft message addressed to his boss, his coworkers, and his clients. Subject line, "James Morrison, the truth." Attached, every video, every photo. One click, that's all it takes. He swallowed hard. Okay, I'll stop." "Good." I stood up. "And one more thing." "What?" "Sign over the title to your Audi." "What?" "You heard me. Sign over the car. Today." "That's insane." "So is sleeping with another man's wife," I said, "but here we are." 2 hours later, I walked out of the DMV with the title to a black Audi in my name. James had signed it over without another word. I drove it home and parked it in my driveway, right next to Emma's car. Then I went inside and waited. Emma came home at 6 p.m. She walked in, saw me sitting on the couch, and smiled. "Hey, you're back early." "Conference ended early," I said. She set down her purse. "Whose car is in the driveway?" "Mine. Just bought it." She frowned. "You bought an Audi?" "Yeah, got a great deal." She walked to the window, looked out. I watched her face change. She recognized it. Where did you get that car?" "From James Morrison," I said calmly. She froze. "She signed over the title this afternoon. Nice guy. We had a good talk." She turned slowly. "Nathan—" "I know, Emma." Her face went white. "Know what?" I picked up my phone, played the doorbell footage. She watched herself kiss James in our doorway. When it ended, she looked at me. "Nathan, I can explain." "Don't," I said. "I don't want to hear it." I stood up, pulled an envelope from my jacket. "These are divorce papers. You'll be served officially next week, but I wanted you to see them first." Her hands shook as she took the envelope. "You used our money to cheat on me. You lied to me for months, maybe longer." Tears started falling. "Nathan, please." "I'm keeping the house," I continued. "I'm keeping the cars. You're getting nothing." "You can't." "I can, and I will." I walked to the door, stopped. "You have until Monday to move out. Take your clothes, leave your key." "Nathan!" We're done, Emma. I walked out, got in the Audi, and drove away. The divorce took 4 months. Patricia was right. With the evidence I had, Emma didn't stand a chance. She tried to fight, hired a lawyer, claimed I was being vindictive, but the footage didn't lie. The credit card statements didn't lie. The judge awarded me the house, both cars, and all joint assets. Emma got her personal belongings and a firm reminder that adultery has consequences. James Morrison lost his job 3 weeks later. Turns out, sleeping with clients' wives is bad for business. Emma moved to Raleigh. Last I heard, she's working retail. I sold the Audi. Didn't need it, didn't want it. But keeping it for those 4 months, parking it in the driveway every single day, that was worth every penny. 6 months after the divorce, I met someone new. Her name is Rachel. She's a teacher. She has no idea about Emma, James, or the Audi. She just knows I'm a guy who travels for work and likes bad coffee. We take things slow. We talk. We laugh. And when I'm out of town, I don't worry. Because trust isn't something you assume. It's something you earn. And Rachel earns it every single day. I still have the doorbell camera. But now, when I check it, all I see is Rachel watering the plants or bringing in groceries. Normal, honest, real, the way it should be. If you've ever seen something that made your stomach drop, if you've ever had to choose between rage and strategy, if you've ever taken back control when someone thought you were broken, this one's for you. Comment, "I took control," if this hit home. Hit subscribe for more stories about the quiet power of knowing your worth. Because the best revenge isn't loud, it's precise.